So David, congrats on the fake pork and the fake sausage. How does this differ from some of the other competition that's out there?
Well, we like to think Impossible Pork made from plants is as delicious or more delicious than the real thing. Impossible Pork was the product of some fundamental research that has been occurring for the last 8 years. This research allows us to turn to applying all of this great technology when we're ready to launch a new product. And here we are at the Consumer Electronics Show 1 year after launching Impossible Burger 2.0, launching now 2 new products, Impossible Pork made from plants and Impossible Sausage, soon to be rolling out at Burger King.
David, a lot of what makes the burger so good is heme, which, as you know, it's genetically modified yeast, but does sort of mimic that animal blood flavor and sort of a composition mix that everyone likes. Given, though, that it is genetically modified, has that prevented you from entering some countries or some markets that maybe don't want genetically modified products?
Well, it does take time for every market to adjust to innovation. What's interesting about the magic molecule heme, which we're proud to say is made through genetic modification, it's the same way the curdling agent rennet is used to make most of the cheese we consume here in the US and in many parts of the EU. And because we've seen such great approval by regulators like the FDA, we're confident that our products with this magic molecule will be available globally. It just will take us a bit of time. In the meantime, we're super excited about getting bigger and bigger where we already are, here in the United States and Macau and Singapore and Hong Kong. But I expect you'll see us enter new markets soon enough.
And what are those new markets? I'm trying to get you to say China.
I'm sure you are. You know, we were recently in Shanghai. Pat Brown, our CEO and founder, served, I think, 25,000 servings of the Impossible Burger under the auspices of great local chefs who can take this incredible product and transform it to make it relevant for the cuisine there. At this point, we haven't announced a specific date, but our mission is global. And with 40% of meat being consumed in Asia, we are very focused on ensuring we can enter major markets like China as soon as possible.
David, the China market, to be fair, though, very competitive. You have local Chinese producers already trying to come up with their meat alternatives. Beyond Meat, another competitor looking to gain in that market as well. Where do you see yourself positioned within that Chinese market that's very competitive?
Well, what we find in all markets, whether it's a meat eater in mainland China to in the inner cities of the US or perhaps one day in Europe, is that meat eaters vote with their stomachs. They want the best tasting, craveable product. And we believe that we have the technology to compete on an equal playing field, to let the meat eater choose. And we're confident that meat eaters everywhere, whether they be in Asia or here in the US, will vote for the best possible product, one that also happens to not just be the most craveable, but be better for their health and the environment. And that's our competitive advantage, and that's what we're betting on.
When could we see other products like Impossible Dumplings or some other dim sum products out there in China?
Well, what's incredible about our technology is its platform technology. So this Impossible Pork made from plants product, it will be a great filling in a dumpling or a bao. I wish you could be with us here at CES because you could try it in a variety of cuisines, whether it's dan dan noodles or in, say, a dumpling. Our products can be transformed by chefs in every cuisine, cooked differently, patty differently. In many ways, it's 1,000 products in one. So I think very soon you'll see the same thing you saw with Impossible Burger 2.0 happen to Impossible Pork made from plants.
And you are testing this product and rolling it out in some locations at Burger King. What other commercial partnerships are you looking at?
Well, we're proud that Burger King is taking a version of Impossible Pork made from plants, in this case a great breakfast sausage patty, and rolling out their croissantwich for breakfast at 139 locations in 5 to 6 markets here in the US by the end of January. that's the news of the day that we're happy to disclose. We're quite protective of the other confidential details for other customers, so at this point, we're not disclosing additional rollout plans.
Talk to me then about retail demand as we flip from some of the commercial products into a supermarket. How do you find the balance of a commercial product versus some of the retail demand in supermarkets?
Well, what's interesting is we've just scratched the surface on serving the home chef. We have long believed that those who would find our products, shop for them in a grocery store, could bring them home and turn them into whatever they wanted in a way that no other plant-based product has ever done. But we've just recently launched at over 100 locations on the eastern seaboard with Wegmans and Fairway Markets, and here on the West Coast with Gelson's, and we're still learning. Soon enough, you'll hear about plans for us to be further along on our national rollout in retail, but for that information, you'll have to stay tuned.
Well, let me try one more time to get you to talk to me just a little bit earlier, because you mentioned you were proud to say that it was genetically modified from a yeast, that heme product that you and I were talking about. Has that inhibited you from getting into a Whole Foods, for example? Are they equally as proud to carry genetically modified products?
Well, we're focused on customers, meat eaters, and consumers who are educated and want to understand where products come from. So we're focused on absolute transparency. In fact, I don't know another food company that creates videos that anyone can access on their own website to know exactly how our product is made. I wonder how other food companies would fare if they took that same bar to their own standards of transparency. And as a result, we actually have found that consumers, once they know exactly why you make the product and how you make it, will embrace it. We haven't seen any issues on the proud fact that we use technology to make our product, in part because people realize that so many of the foods they eat, like the cheese we consume, are products of the same type of genetic modification.
Finally, you're a CFO, so you spend your day in balance sheet analysis. So let me try to talk to some numbers with you here. Your competitor, Beyond Meat, of course, has been successful since their IPO. But Impossible Foods has said that they are no plans really in any time soon to IPO. Why wait?
I think it's great news for them, and I don't see them as our competitor. Our consumers say that 95% of them claim they're hardcore meat eaters who are making trade-off decisions versus our product and the incumbent product that comes from the animal, because that's the juicy, craveable choice they want to make. Having said that, our mission is global. We need every financial and strategic option to pursue the growth that we're seeing, and that means that we need to have the option to choose to be public when and if we make that choice. But for today, there are no plans, no announcement that we are going public.